hard not to do what we just did on those issues. And so I don't call the special sessions, the governor does. I have to obey and show up. But what I did do, and what I will commit to you to do, is to pass an honest, transparent, conservative budget where we put the priorities in the right place at the beginning of session. And that means that, government has a gun. In your plumbing business, if you could just walk down the street, okay, you're going to be a customer and this is what you're going to pay. And this is what I'm going to charge you, and you don't have any choice in the matter. That you'd be like government. And if you had a good program you wanted to put in, and this is what it's going to cost, that's what would happen, whether they liked it or not. But when you have a free market, and they evaluate what you want to do and what it's going to cost, and they go to someone else, you're forced to change your sales policy and your services and what you provide. And that's what the budget process should do to government, but it often doesn't. And we just raise taxes and point the gun, and if the program is inefficient, we just throw more money at it. And I'm working hard to stop that. So I can commit to that. We've run out of time. Let me just quickly tell you some things that we're working on. I'm trying to stop taxation with misrepresentation. You all know about the Volunteer Fire Department Assistance Fund, where we take about $30 million of your money each year, and in the past two bienniums, we spent less than half of that on volunteer fire departments, assistant training, and equipment. And we used the rest of that money to fund other programs that didn't have funds. But we don't just do that with $30 million. We do it with about $4 billion. We've done it with more, and that's been going on for 2 decades. So we need to stop that practice, and we need to use the funds for that which we've taxed them for and told you. We need honesty and not misrepresentation in our taxing policies. Then we need truth in borrowing. And if we're going to, not just on the local level, but on the state level, we need to say what the debt is and what we're going to add to it, and what that means on a per capita basis. On the state level, we don't have a whole lot of debt compared to other states, but our local debt is one of the greatest in the nation. You can look on different ways it's compared. It's either second, third, fourth. It's in the top 10. And that's not good. So there is a time for debt, but let's be honest about it. Let's tell the people what it is, and let's do it on an election date when people will show up. One of the bills that I filed that we talked about earlier deals with a penalty. It's a penalty for changing the way you use your own private property. If you have some open space land, a pasture or timberland, and a city's come up to you, and you think this would be a good time to have a house or two for my family, and maybe I'm going to make some subdivision with the other part of it. Guess what? You have to pay 5 years worth of property taxes at the developed price. And then a 7% interest on top of that. So you're paying equivalent to 5 years of back taxes plus a 7% penalty on top of that for just changing the use of your land and reporting it up to the government. I think that's egregious. I think we shouldn't have something retroactive like that. And I welcome your input on that. I've received real solid support for it. I think it'll help. Many times landowners can't help if the city's coming. And we don't want to limit their ability to do what they think is best for their own property and make them pay a huge penalty. And even if a developer ends up paying it, it's coming out of the sales price of the land. And this is all based on a fictitious use of the property. and it shouldn't be. Other legislation, I'm trying to skip over things here.